What is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. If you hear noise in the background, remember, I got kids. They're out there with their daddy. We're gonna check out some more Judge Judy clips. This one's gonna be heated landlord fights on Judge Judy. I can't wait to hear her comments.
You have a 3-year-old asthmatic child, according.
Yes.
I don't believe her. Actually, I don't believe her.
Okay.
That she said that to you. I want you to forget emotional damage. I am emotionally damaged. I have
Anytime somebody trying to get emotional damage, I'll be like,
never ends. Here's another interesting case on Judge Judy, where the plaintiffs are suing the defendant, refusing to give them their security deposit.
In the end of February, so it was for March.
What was the rent on the apartment?
It was $1,300 plus a month and a half security on.
And how much money did you give them?
$1,950 plus $1,300, so that should be $3,250.
I really don't get how
good.
landlords promise tenants one thing in order to get them to rent their houses, and when the tenants finally pay and move in, they find out that the opposite is the case. It's really just pathetic on the part of these landlords.
And they told us, they promised everything was brand new. They told us the whole house was brand new. Everything that they put in, everything was new.
But you saw the place before.
Yes, we saw the place before.
Was everything brand new?
No. That must have been really terrifying and disgusting. Also, it just makes no sense at all why they accuse them of stuffing noodles into the shower. I wonder how feasible that is, though. I mean, come on. Like, what do you think? Ugh.
From the inside of the tub, it chipped and it clogged it. When it clogged it, a bunch of worms came up, like out of the shower. And I mean, you can say that it's not worms. They told us that the plumber supposedly said we stuffed noodles into the shower.
The defendant does seem like a nasty person indeed. First, he told the plaintiffs that the house was brand new when it obviously wasn't. And from the conversation they had through text messages, he really just gives off a totally weird vibe.
You have a nasty way about you.
Excuse me?
Is this you? Writing this
Talking
one?
about excuse
I don't
me.
know one. I don't
Which
know
one?
what's that.
It's Dave.
You got a nasty way about you.
From his hoop
we're
earring, I
back
can
to this
tell
again.
he's already
One
troubled.
person says one thing and the other says another. The defendant said that the plaintiffs were evicted in June but didn't move out, but the defendants said they moved out in April.
April 19th, we had belongings inside of the apartment, but that was because it was like...
I don't care. If you have belongings in the apartment, then you're there.
We couldn't go back to the apartment because she was threatening me and I had to press charges on Melissa Dempsey.
We have police reports and video recording.
Oh, well, now it's beginning to make some sense. Plaintiffs moved out in April. Now, I'm guessing because of the alleged threats that the defendant was making, but it seems they didn't move their furniture out of the apartment until June, because furniture totally counts as people, am I right?
Your furniture out.
In June.
So you owe rent for April.
No, we paid April. It's May, June.
So you didn't pay rent for 2 months.
For May and June, yes, Your Honor.
And where did you go in May and June?
We were staying at hotels.
Some landlords are just the worst, and they really don't know how to relate well with their tenants. You tell your tenant you would replace something in the apartment, but you fail to do so, and on top of that, you're using vulgar language too? Like, it's just really wrong.
I'm tired of you guys harassing my man and calling him, yelling at him while he's driving. My son is in the car.
That's your mother?
That's my mother. I was just letting you know it's not me on the recording.
Does your mother live with you?
My mother is the owner of the home. She lives on the first floor.
It's the excitement of the plaintiffs to show their proof when the defendant said he got a plumber to take a look at the shower and there were no worms. The looks on their faces screamed, oh, you're about to get what's coming to you. Or something.
That's right. You gotta show up with the
Because they
proof.
were not able to get over in every which way they
Get
tried.
just get over with what?
Okay,
Right.
it started out that there was a complaint that they were having worms coming up out of the tub. I had a plumber come in, there was no worms. I had a fire inspector come in.
Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't think anyone would continuously
got
call
evidence.
about different damages
got
that were
proof.
occurring in the apartment if there were none indeed. People have just got better things to do than create problems where there are none just for fun. Right?
The door don't work. I went upstairs, took care of it. The second day, I get a text message.
You're
Now
a
the tub is
landlord.
backing
You're supposed to
up. I took
fix
care of
it.
Following day, comes up again. Other issues. Oh, there's a hole in the closet door. What hole?
Exactamundo! It's completely void of sense. Like, no one would save up $3,000 for an apartment only to move out a month later and start staying in hotels. Like, something was definitely wrong, and it wasn't the tenant's fault. Like, I feel bad for them because it seems like they went through a lot.
I'm confused at why they moved in, though.
To do that, move into a place, and unless something was radically wrong, not with them, but with the apartment and the atmosphere, that they would move out 4 weeks later.
Okay, now the plaintiffs really messed up here. I mean, aside from the fact that smoking is generally dangerous to their health, shouldn't the welfare of their asthmatic kid be of utmost importance to them?
Oh,
Like,
gosh.
that's just totally irresponsible of them.
He also said that we could smoke on the roof, Your Honor. That's also in those text
Yeah,
messages.
I understand. He says, go take a walk or go up on the roof. I understand.
The
what-
roof is
I
on our attic.
Listen to me. You have a 3-year-old asthmatic child, according to you.
Oh, this just keeps getting more and more interesting. So, the defendant claims that the plaintiff asked them for an additional lease for her personal gains, but they didn't give it to her. But the plaintiff, of course, has a different answer to that. So, take a look at this.
Welfare, and she wanted to defraud them and not tell them that she lived with Mr. Glass because then they would cut her benefits.
And they never cut my benefits
we said
because
no,
Glass
we
was
would
on my
not,
lease.
we would not provide her with an additional lease. That's when
You
the
did
problem
provide me
started.
an additional lease.
No, we did
yes,
not.
you did. You provided me 3 of them.
You know, that was just a little chaotic to watch. Judge Judy's verdict
won?
was right on point, though, as always.
We have a counterclaim.
I know you have a counterclaim.
Dismissed.
I've considered your counterclaim. I don't see damage. Do you
We have the
understand?
bill.
I don't care.
I have the paid.
All I'm awarding you to clean the apartment is $250. Do you understand?
Okay.
Check this
$250.
out. 2 men are suing their former landlords for their security deposit. As usual, right? Well, let's hop right
Oh,
on in and
goodness.
see what's what.
Your last name, sir?
DePew?
Who's going to speak for the 2 of you?
I will.
You're Mr. Scholler.
Yes.
Mr. Scholler, you and your co-plaintiff rented a house from the defendant.
Yes.
And you had a 1-year lease?
About 13 months, roughly 13 months.
So basically, she didn't do the walkthrough with the plaintiffs the way it should have been done, and not having electricity and her iPad being dead doesn't sound like the plaintiff's problem.
So the minute that they left, I was waiting to go back and take the photo.
Well, that's a problem, Ms. Trafficano. A walkthrough is on the date that they are departing.
Usually with this case of security deposit, the landlords would mostly keep the entire security deposit that belonged to the tenant. But in this case, she kept about 60% of it and gave the plaintiffs back 40%.
Okay.
I don't know about you. I'd kind of like to know why.
$35.
How much did you keep of their security deposit?
$1,789.85.
Did you serve them with a letter indicating why you were keeping $1,789?
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
Judge Judy wasted no time at all in putting the defendant in her place. It's pretty obvious that the defendant was lying about what she told the plaintiffs about the fire pit. She just wants to make trouble.
Yes.
I don't believe her. Actually, I don't believe her.
Okay.
That she said that to you.
I mean, I don't either.
This is nonsense. This is the fire pit you're talking about.
Yes.
There was really no point in her saying that. Like, it was just completely irrelevant, and it's weird that she thinks that she's got the right to keep the security deposit because more people than required were allegedly staying in the apartment.
Also, Your Honor, on the lease it says that only the 3 tenants were allowed living there and there were other people living in the house.
That's not true.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,789. The counterclaim's dismissed.
You know, weird
Knew
things
it.
are happening every day, like when a landlord sues the tenant for emotional damage. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's find out what this farce is all about.
Ms. Bach, you rented a room to Mr. Running Wolf in your home. Is it a condo or a private house?
It's a home.
And he moved in April, and he moved out in August of 2015.
August 6, 2015.
Judge Judy definitely wasted no time in giving it straight to the plaintiff, who was also the landlord.
$4,000
I mean, what on earth would make her think
for
the court
property
was
and
going
emotional
to entertain
damage?
that particular claim? She's just funny.
No damage.
I want you to forget emotional damage. I am emotionally damaged. To work today with a cold and a headache and whatever. You're a landlord. You don't get emotional damage. You're a landlord who has a roommate.
Right on point again, Judge Judy. It's not hard at all. You've written your house to someone, you don't like the person's behavior towards you or in general, then you evict the person, voila, problemo solved. Like, suing for emotional damage with regards to this case is irrelevant as it is senseless.
Made into your house somebody that you don't love. It's hard enough to live with somebody that
Every
you
time.
love. But taking somebody into your house for economic reasons, somebody that you have no feeling for, and you have to put up with their nonsense is not pleasant.
Okay, is she even listening to herself right now? Why would the defendant not want to sign the written lease? Besides, I don't believe what she said, because if he had refused to sign the written lease, which would be a benefit to not only him, but her too, there's no way she would have allowed him to start living in the house.
With her?
She would
She
never
might
give
have.
me one.
That's not
So,
true.
just did you have a written lease
I
with him?
gave him a lease and he refused.
Did you have a written lease with him?
I had a written lease, but he refused to sign.
That's fine.
I gave it to him.
Just a second. Whether you gave it to him or not, I don't care.
Yeah.
Gotta
Why don't you
admire how
sign
the
it?
defendant keeps his reply short and straight to the point. What's even more interesting is that he's taking accountability for his actions when needed. Who does that? Like, I don't know, maybe Judge Judy likes this guy.
Bust down the
Does
door.
she?
I took the lock off, Your Honor.
You took the lock off?
Yes.
And he left holes there.
You took the whole lock out?
Yes, I bought it and I took it out.
Did you put the old one
I
back?
didn't have time to do it.
Just a second. Well, if you didn't have time to put the old one back, you have to pay for it.
Okay,
Yep.
hold up a second. He's gotta pay for labor to install the lock? This woman's hilarious, y'all. Like, how does that even make any sense? But then again, she thought suing for emotional damage was a great idea, so I can't exactly
know.
blame her. You know, some people, the elevator just doesn't run all the way to the top floor.
$30 something at a Lowe's, and then my husband installed it.
That's $30. He has to
And
pay
then
you.
so,
He has to pay you for $30. What else?
But
Come on.
you have to
What
pay
else?
for the labor to
What?
install it.
$30
Your
for the lock.
husband-
Again, I
Oh.
absolutely respect how straight to the point the defendant is. That's why
what?
Judge Judy wants to listen to what he's got to say more than what the plaintiff's rambling about.
You cannot open the door, without hitting the ceiling light.
On one of the doors, that's correct. She's right on that. Because there's like, I think, 8 cabinet doors.
Did you break the shower pan?
It happened to break when I was in there, yes. But it was ready to go at any time.
The plaintiff claims that she had to repair the alleged damages done by the defendant, and that cost her a lot of money. But you'd be shocked to find out that the money wasn't even up to the amount of the defendant's deposit. So I'm kind of confused as to why she's suing for $4,000.
4,000?
You certainly haven't bills here reaching anywhere near $725. And to suggest that he owes you another $4,000 is ridiculous. So your case
Right.
is dismissed. We're done.
Knew it was gonna be dismissed, y'all. I knew it. I just realized I forgot to turn on my other light. But still, we got the nice fancy one right here. Anyways, them cases with the landlords and tenants be crazy on all court TV shows. Always crazy, and it's always about not returning the deposit over, so either it be over some craziness or over actual like real substantial things. Is one or the other. It does not usually be in the middle. So anyways, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Were these landlords ridiculous? I think they were a little bit. Also, make sure you give this a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. It helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe down below and join me over here on the channel. I also appreciate that. I love your company. Thank you. And turn on your post notifications. It's the little bell icon. And then I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. Peace out, guys.